All right, so our first game we're going to be talking about Wisconsin and Alabama. Alabama is currently favored by 88.9% with a 21 spread. Now listen, I David O'Neal is playing pretty good. Simpson, the quarterback for Alabama, he's playing pretty well. My only question for Alabama is this going to be another Florida State game? Is this going to be another Florida State game? Because the expectation about Florida State was very low, and Alabama goes into Florida State and loses. Now, granted, last week they played ULM, Monroe, and dominated them, as they should. But that week one loss versus Florida State is always going to be looming over Alabama. Last year they lost to Purdue at Purdue, and Purdue wasn't very, they were a good football team, but Alabama should have beat them. And last year Alabama went up to Wisconsin and beat the Badgers pretty good. But this is a different Alabama team than last year. Now, with that being said, is Simpson the right guy at quarterback? That is the question. Right now, he's 40 for 60. He's got 5 touchdowns on the season. His passing yards are, I think he's got like around 480 yards on the season so far, which those are pretty good numbers. Don't get me wrong, those are some pretty good numbers. But most of those numbers came against a lesser team. I don't know. 88.9% is quite a lot for me. I think this is going to be a close game, and I think Wisconsin is going to shock. I'm not going to say it's shock the world. I think they're going to hang in there until about the fourth quarter, and then Alabama may start taking over the game. I can't help but think about the Florida State game. There was no effort in that Florida State game. And that's like the best, whenever we're thinking about Alabama performance, is we have to think about the best team that they played so far. That's going to be Florida State. They struggled against Florida State. Now, Florida State's going to be a good team, but they struggled. And I'm taking that into account. So, with that being said, I think the game's going to be very close. I think whoever going to win is going to win by 6 points. 6 points or less. And I'm going to give the edge to the Wisconsin Badgers. Now, that's going to be a very unpopular opinion, but Alabama hasn't shown me anything yet this far that they will be able to take care of business. They have Ryan Williams playing in the slot receiver. What? Ryan Williams is not a slot receiver. He's a wide receiver. They're not using Ryan Williams in, a good way. And that was just during the Florida State game, which is, partially, in my opinion, why they lost the game. But I actually think Wisconsin is going to go handle business down there in Tuscaloosa and come out with a 6-point win over Alabama. And, yeah, that's going to be an unpopular opinion, but I'm calling for the upset. I am calling for the upset versus Alabama and Wisconsin. Let's talk about Notre Dame and Texas A&M. Right now, Notre Dame has a 71% to win the game at over Texas A&M. Texas A&M, I believe, is going to Notre Dame to play. So, was it last year? Last year they had a good game against each other. And the only thing that kind of worries me about Notre Dame is that Miami lost, but that Miami loss wasn't too bad. The Aggies actually hold the edge stat-wise over Notre Dame. Marcel Reed has 509 yards passing, while Carr only has 221 passing. Carr is 19 of 30 with 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. Marcel Reed is 41 of 62 with 7 touchdowns. I mean, that's a significant difference. Now, when it also comes to receiving yards, Texas A&M is dominating the total receiving yards by 236 over 97 with Notre Dame. I don't see how Notre Dame can be favored in this with the statistics that we have here. I'm going to go with I'm going to go with Texas A&M. I think they find a way to beat Notre Dame at Notre Dame Stadium. I don't think it's going to be a blowout win. I think they win by 7 or maybe less. But I just don't see Notre Dame winning this game with, I don't see it. I understand that they have Price as running back, but Carr kind of struggled versus Miami. Now, granted, they're at home, but Marcel Reed's not a rookie quarterback, which I have a weird statistic here later on in the show if you want to stick around for that, for the weird statistic involving rookie quarterbacks this season in college football. But give me Texas A&M and the upset over Notre Dame and in Indiana. That's going to be one to watch for. Next game, Georgia and Tennessee. So Tennessee's hasn't beat Georgia in many years, and rightfully so. Tennessee had a great team last year, and they had a great team back in like 22 with Hooker at QB. I think they went on to like play Clemson in like the Goodyear Orange Bowl. I think it was. Yeah, the Orange Bowl. Man, was it yeah, I think it was the Orange Bowl. But Georgia, Tennessee. Tennessee is currently favored 51.5% to win the game over Georgia, and I'm kind of on that boat too. I'm leaning Tennessee for this game. Only reason why is Tennessee is a good team. Statistic-wise, they have more rushing yards, they have more passing yards, they have more receiving yards. Joey Aguilar versus Gunnar Stockton. Some of the numbers is Aguilar has 39 completions with 59 attempts, 5 touchdowns. Gunnar Stockton has 40 catches or 40 receptions with 58 attempts and 2 touchdowns. So Gunner's kind of struggling there a little bit. And then the way that Georgia played against Austin, PA last week and only beating them, what was the score? Like 6-. What was the score last week? I can't remember. 6-28. 6-28 versus Austin, PA. That is a low scoring number against a lesser team. And then the week before that, they played Marshall, and it was 45-7. I can get that score. I can get behind that. I can't get behind the 28-6 against Austin, PA. Like, you should have dominated versus Austin, PA. So as of right now, Tennessee 51%. And I have to agree with that, man. I have to agree with that statistic. I think Tennessee is going to beat Georgia for the first time in many years. I'm not saying Georgia's going to be a bad football team this year. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I think Tennessee has the better football team, has the better football matchup, and I'm going to strike it up to the Vols for the win. I bet you it's probably going to be a close-ish game. I think the Vols win by 10 points, honestly, though. Let's talk about Florida and LSU. Whoa, what a disappointing loss to South Florida last week by the Gators in the swamp. At all places. I don't know how. Oh man, if you're a Gator fan right now, I am on full panic mode. I am pressing the red button and I am freaking out. Florida does not have a good schedule this year. It's one of the toughest schedules in the SEC, which is no surprise to anyone. Um, but the way that South Florida went into the swamp and played Florida, now granted some of the penalties that Florida gave, hurt them. But still, football is a team sport. Okay? So if you're doing personal fouls and make your team essentially give the other team opportunity after opportunity, eventually they're going to take care of that. And the South Florida did. So LSU is favored to win 61% to 38%. And after watching Florida play last week, and yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go with LSU on the win, and I don't think it's even close. I think LSU wins by 14 points. I think Nussmeier is going to be wheeling and dealing the football all around the swamp. And I don't think the Gators are going to be able to. I think they'll be close, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout. So I got LSU Tigers winning against Florida by 14 points. And I mean, that's a tough pill to swallow. Speaking of South Florida, they're going down to Miami to play the Canes. We Nobody was even talking about South Florida before the season. Nobody was even talking about them. But I mean, they have wins over Boise State, who was ranked 25 in week 1. They went into the swamp and beat the Gators. All I'm saying right now is if South Florida goes to Miami and beat the Canes, they are probably going to be making the playoffs. They are probably going to be making the playoffs this year. They'll probably be the best team in, I think they're the American Conference. They're in the American Conference. Watch out, American Conference. Granted, that's one of the better conferences in the group of 6. But watch out for USF, man. I think University of South Florida is, if they beat the Canes, watch out for them trying to make a playoff run this year, which is, like I said, it's going to be unheard of. Miami's got a 72.3% margin over USF, who has a 27% chance of winning. You know what, man? We're on upset alert on this episode. I got Wisconsin over Alabama, Tennessee versus Georgia. That's not going to be an upset. But I got Texas over Notre Dame going into Indiana. Let's just keep the ball rolling, man. Give me South Florida over Miami. Now, granted, probably the wrong choice. Miami probably is going to take care of business with Carson back there at quarterback and Fletcher Jr. there at running back and all of the wide receiver weapons that Carson Beck has at his disposal. But give me South Florida, man, for the upset. Give me South Florida for the upset by 3. Last-minute field goal, fourth quarter, marching down the field. Give me South Florida. I am on the hype train. I am on the South Florida hype train. And, yep, we're talking about it. One more game that I want to talk about before we go ahead and close out this episode is Clemson. What are we doing? Clemson Tigers. What are we doing? You lose to LSU, which was a phenomenal game. Phenomenal game. It was a close game. Loved watching that one. But what are we doing with Troy? What are we? What? That was that was a shocker of a game, to be honest, with you on that one. I didn't think Clemson. I mean, I was second quarter, and Troy was still up. I didn't think they were going to win. I didn't think Clemson was going to win. Um, that was that was just insane. I mean, they scored what, a field goal? I think Clemson scored a field goal in the second quarter, making it like 16-3, and then third quarter and fourth quarter, Clemson dominated. So I'm glad they got it turned around. But what are we doing, Clemson? What did they score in the third quarter? They scored what was it? I can't remember. 20 points, right? No, not 20 points. They scored what, 2 touchdowns and a field goal, and then they went down and scored a touchdown in the fourth quarter. So, I mean, the final score was 27-16, which is a lot closer game than it needed to be, honestly. Honorable mention though, they have to play Georgia Tech, and I hate to say it, but Georgia Tech is favored to win that game, 55% to win the game over Clemson, who has a 44% chance. And from what I saw versus Troy, I couldn't agree. I agree. I think Georgia Tech and Clemson's going to be a good game. Probably be a little bit of a close game, but give me Georgia Tech for the win, man. Georgia Tech, I don't know what is up with Clemson this year. They had a lot of hype in the preseason. A lot of people had them winning the national championship, and I just don't see it this year. I don't see them going undefeated. I don't even see them making the national championship. I probably would even I'm not going to go that far. I do see them as a playoff contender, but I don't. They're not going to go to the national championship. I mean, from the way that they're playing, I don't see it. All right, give me Georgia Tech over Clemson, and I say it's a win by 10 points. 10-point game, Georgia Tech. Let me know if you guys enjoyed the video, man. Let me know if you want to go into statistics a little bit more and all that good stuff. Oh, yeah, speaking of statistics, weird statistic here. But every rookie quarterback that has started this season, I'm talking about Arch Manning, I'm talking about Carr with Notre Dame, I'm talking about what was it, Simpson, with the Alabama quarterback that played in went to Florida State, and then you have Michigan's quarterback Underwood. They're all rookie quarterbacks, and they all lost against a good team at away games. So they went to away games, and none of the rookie quarterbacks did well. You know who has a rookie quarterback and who is going to go to a hostile environment? Stockton Gunner in Georgia. They're going to go to Tennessee and try to beat the Tennessee Vols, who are currently favored as of this recording to win the game. I hate to say it, man, but I think Gunner Stockton is just going to be another statistic in that. And I think the rookie quarterbacks are going to go 0-5 in away games starting. So that's a little weird statistic there. But, yes, I mean, so you had Michigan's quarterback, you had Alabama's quarterback, Notre Dame's quarterback, Arch Manning. And I think the next person is going to be Gunner Stockton. I think he's going to be quarterback number 5 that goes down in a away game and with them playing in Neyland. So that's a little fun statistic there. I think right now quarterbacks are 0-4. I think it's going to be 0-5 by the time the weekend's over. So a little weird statistic there. Let me know what you think, guys, in the comments. I appreciate you guys listening. Like I said, if you guys want me to go more in depth, give you guys more of my opinion and why, and with the different players and on the teams, and like, stop playing Ryan Williams in the slot. I'm out. Thank you guys for watching. Hello, everybody, and welcome into the show here today. We're going to be talking about college football and the week 3 predictions. There's going to be 5 games that we're going to be talking about. It's going to be Wisconsin and Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, South Florida, Miami, Texas A&M, Notre Dame, and Florida versus LSU.